morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Proof of Person. Happy fucking Monday. Today we have Daniel with us, CEO and co-founder of Key and Keychain, as our main guest for episode 40. Thank you for joining the show. Daniel, how are you doing today? How's everything?
Everything's going amazing. Fortunately, really excited. We
Awesome,
got
man. Great
DG.
to have you here.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we got DG coming up soon, so it's good times. Good times.
Man, so excited. I'm sure you guys are sleeping 2 hours per night, but so much happening, so much going on. Counting the days, we're going to talk all about that. TGE, mainnet, 2 million wallets on testnet, so many great milestones and so many updates that you guys have. So super excited for the show. For anyone just joining it right now, don't forget to like, comment, retweet the stream. It's going to be a great one. We're going to share clips afterwards anyways. And yeah, stick around, make your best questions, and we'll get through that as well with Daniel. Daniel, before we go through everything Keychain, do you mind doing a quick TLDR about you, your background, and what do you do?
Absolutely. My name's Daniel Arenas. I'm the CEO of Keychain. My background is in traditional finance. I was an investment banker. And along the way, I saw the opportunities that um, blockchain and crypto could have. And I saw the synergies between TradFi and how it improved through blockchain and crypto. And I just completely fell in love with the sector and started building about 4 years ago. And today we have Keychain.
Awesome. You started building Keychain 4 years ago, or you joined Web3 4 years ago?
No, I joined Web3 10 years ago.
Woof. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I started in Web3. We got started in Web3 doing arbitrage between Bitcoin and the Colombian peso. And then we did arbitrage between USDT and the Colombian peso. And I started a $4 million fund. Do that for about a bit over, a little under 2 years. And from there, I started realizing that the market. I was convinced that there was going to be a big gold rush in crypto in LATAM, right? Especially on the builder side. And about a year, 2 years into it, I realized that nothing was really happening. So I started going to different conferences and asking why. And the response I was getting was, oh, we're waiting for the big international players to come into the market. And then when I went to the international conferences, they were telling me, started talking to the big players and say, hey, when are you coming to LATAM? And they would say, we're waiting for a big regional player to emerge that we can partner with. And it's at that moment that I realized that where the opportunity lied. And I just told my partner, I said, hey, we have to become that strong regional player and we got to start building. That's what the market needs. And 4 years later, here we are. We got Keychain.
That's amazing, man. Yeah, it's such a huge opportunity for LATAM. I was in Singapore Token 2049 in September, October, and there was a lot of discussion about LATAM. Like, I'm from Mexico, and when I mentioned that, when people asked where I was from and I said Mexico, they instantly were interested in that sector. In that, it's such a powerful region, and as you said, and we will go through as well today. There's so much opportunity because of the system that is not going as fast as the people will want it to, right? So we'll get through all of that, and so excited to the origin of Keychain and now where you guys are at, and leading on to TG and mainnet. Do you remember which conference was that they were mentioning about the regional players, and you decided to become that one, or was it so long
Oh
ago?
yeah, absolutely. No. It was. We ended up going to. It was. We went to. It was at a Bitcoin conference in Miami, and then here it was at Crypto Latin Fest.
Which one? Crypto Land Fest?
Crypto Latin Fest.
Oh, Latin Fest. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
I
and
saw a picture that you were in El Salvador as well. Like, you've been around many conferences, I'm sure, right? Outside of LATAM and also within
oh,
LATAM.
absolutely. We go to a ton of them. I was actually at Singapore last year.
No way, man. We couldn't
Yeah.
meet there.
No, absolutely. Well, I think it's just super important to really travel to all these conferences, because that's really when you get the face to face with a lot of these companies and strategic partners, and you're able to really connect with people and see what's really happening. Because you see the new companies that are coming, the ones that have gone. You get to talk to the people on the ground and really see where the market's headed and what are we really looking at in terms of the next 6, 12 months, etc.
Yeah, no, completely agree. Why did you decide to call it Key? I don't think I've found that anywhere on your Twitter, but yeah, just wondering and curious about it.
Well, it was funny because I traveled a few years ago to Europe, and Kiri is a Finnish word for speed, right? And
Wow,
I
nice.
like that, and I like that word. I liked the word Kiri, and then from there we looked at shortening it to Key, right? And then the fact that it has energy attached to it and speed and energy, we really like that, especially because our main focus was we really wanted to speed up the movement of capital in emerging markets, because what we've seen is between the slow speed and the high cost, it's really what limits the growth in emerging markets overall, and especially in LATAM. And you know that better than anybody, because
Man,
you know we live in the region, so we deal with this on the daily.
it's
So
crazy. Yeah, sorry.
yeah, yeah, no. So that's what we saw. We really we saw Key as being the blockchain and the technology that was going to unlock the value of emerging markets and of LATAM with speed and cost efficiency.
Yeah, no, and that combination as well with transparency, and someone that can understand the culture. I'm sure, and you've seen it with conference, and as well, I heard a lot when I've traveled. People want to invest. They see a lot of opportunity from abroad, and to someone that is on the ground and knows the local, the people, the culture, understands everything. It's not just coming with a lot of money and to let's see how that works, right? So big difference that you guys are building this um, being local and on this side of the world, obviously.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's been our biggest competitive advantage, because when you're from the region and you understand the day-to-day implications of the financial sector, of dealing with the banks, the mentality of movement of capital here in the region, you start finding out that there's a lot of common denominators throughout emerging markets in general. And also, what you realize is that blockchain in emerging markets is not part of the tech sector, it's part of the financial sector,
Yeah,
right? And then that's when you start really realizing the benefit and the true value that this technology brings to the region, right? Because what it's really doing is it's allowing us to unlock the value that's been trapped by traditional banking and by traditional finance for decades. And what blockchain is doing, and what we're doing with Keychain, is really opening up that value, increasing the speed. And what we really are looking to do is just completely change the financial relationship between users and banks by, we're going to be, obviously have our blockchain, but we're going to be, shortly we'll be launching our blockchain bank. And
yep,
the premise for that is really not just this incredible technology that lowers cost and increases the speed of transactions, and allows us to do on-chain FX, so that emerging markets can do cross-border payments and international transfers at immediate speed and with immediate settlement. But also, it's the mentality behind it, and the mentality is to go away from that risk mitigation and margin optimization for the banks, and have a relationship with the users based off of growth, where we all grow together. Because ultimately, what's kept the third world is the archaic banking structure. And with what we're building with Keychain, we're we've identified a tremendous opportunity to be able to completely, you know, grow that sector and give tremendous new new users and existing users a completely different banking experience based off of growth and efficient, cutting edge technology, which is what I think the region needs to really unlock that value and really start getting the growth that LATAM and other emerging markets need to go through.
yeah. No, and there's so many struggles as well for the middle class, but any working class in Latin America and in the world. But I mean, this is more focused for like these that I think I saw one of the keychain tweets, like you don't need to your liquidity be hostage until 9 a.m. on Monday. Like, how do you explain keychain to a non-crypto users for them to understand? It could be as simple like it can be immediate. You can have it in seconds. You can exchange USD to your local currency within seconds, and you can see it in the transaction and how it goes. But there's so much skepticism when with crypto non-crypto users, right? So what has been your approach in that sense outside of the Web3 world?
Our focus has really been to have a physical presence in the region and really meet with the individuals and showcase what we're building, which is with Keychain, what we have is, the number one on chain FX layer one, right? We have the layer one for on-chain FX. That's our bread and butter. That's the core engine to what we're building with our blockchain bank. And what that does is it provides a competitive advantage against what you're dealing with traditional banking. So the way I explain it to non-crypto users is Keychain is a private banking network that allows you to move mm, to do FX, but rather than using the Swift system, you're using blockchain, right? And then around that engine that we built, we've been able to build the blockchain bank, which has all the products and services of traditional banking, but instead of using the Swift system behind it, we're using blockchain. And what does that do? That lowers costs by like 95%, increases transaction speed 10 times, right? And allows the users complete control and privacy over their funds, right? One of the things that I mentioned is that when you're going to be banking with us at Keychain, the opposed to other banks, when you see the numbers at other banks of the funds that you have, it's just numbers on a screen. The capital isn't actually there. The difference with
Yep.
us is that when you bank with us, the numbers on the screen is your capital. Your capital is there. Your funds are there. And because we're not non-custodial, they're completely under your control while still having access to all the products and benefits that banking can give you at a fraction of the cost and with much higher yields.
It's I mean, there's so many benefits and advantages, and I'm like, for any Web3 user, I can see it's a no-brainer. Like, they will jump on it immediately. For anyone in the world, but especially for this region. Um, and yeah, the adoption will transition as it goes. But like, that referral and that approach and that trust that you have with your local community, and then expands to your to the nearby country. It's flawless. And it's key for you guys to grow, I'm sure, right?
Oh, absolutely. Well, you know what we learned is in the process, we said, you know what, let's do the hard work that other people walk away from, right? So what we did is we did really took a grassroots approach. We've gone to all the regional conferences. We work with the regional players. We live in the region. We operate within the region. We know the people, the players, and the market itself, and we've really done a deep dive into um, identifying what is the best product and service that we can give to our users to have real world value through real world use, right? And and through that process and that journey of the last 4 years, what we found is that the number one way we could really provide real world value and strength to our users is by developing the first blockchain bank for LATAM and emerging markets. And what that ultimately does on the user side is that it gives all the degen users a complete platform that with all the benefits of blockchain that they're used to, and but with all the new improvements and all the technological advancements that we've put into this, you know, things from simply being able to connect your wallet directly into to the bank, right? Whether it's being able to do cross-border payments to over 200 countries, right? Allowing users to be able to open up U.S. bank accounts, right? And then additional to that, you have everything from yield savings accounts to yield accounts to staking programs and everything in between. So we saw that and we realized that that is the number one thing that we can help not only the degen users, but on top of that, help all the users that are dealing with this archaic banking structure that has all the cost and financial and time limitations that are imposed on the regular user, but have an application that allows for those users to be able to also benefit from what we're having, right? So that we could have a much wider berth and scale of the market that we're able to service, right? Because ultimately, for the user, what do they want? They want the banking services and everything that we do on the back end. If you're on the DGen side, it's great because you know and understand the technology,
Yeah.
so you get to really enjoy like the work that we put behind it. But if you're not on the DGen side, you're able to benefit from the use, which ultimately is the most important thing, right? Is that it's a strong use case that you can really benefit from, and that's what we've built, and that's what we're going to be, launching soon with our final version of the application, is being able to give both DGen and normal Web 2 users an incredible banking experience where they're going to get all the benefits of banking, but at 95% lower cost, 10 times faster, and complete privacy and control of their funds, right? While giving them access to products like tokenized assets, yield, investment accounts,
Credit
staking
cards, debit
programs,
cards, credit.
savings. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, debit
All of
cards.
that.
And I'm glad debit cards, which are Visa, Mastercard as well. But I'm glad what you just mentioned, what you just said about the credit cards. That's actually one of the areas that we're diving in deeply because
Nice.
we've been approached by a significant amount of funds that want to fund the whole new crypto credit
Yeah, they want to use the
movement that we're
crypto.
pushing.
Yeah, as easy as possible.
Absolutely,
Exactly.
absolutely. And there's $1 trillion credit gap in LATAM alone, right? So we're really attacking that side of it, of the equation as well. And we've been approached by a good amount of funds that want to help us in that journey and want to put, strong competitive capital to work at much better rates and really open up the LATAM market because we feel it's been um, overpriced in terms of risk.
Yeah.
So we see a huge opportunity there. And right now we're working with a lot of funds out of New York that have approached us to really attack that market and close that gap.
Nice, very interesting. Yeah, and I really appreciate. I'm sure many others as well. Like you really prioritize on the infrastructure, besides the benefit and everything that you are improving and making better versus what the banks offer. The infrastructure that you built since the beginning 4 years ago has been, and you just keep improving it. It shows, and it's incredible, and I'm sure people appreciate it. And that struggle as well. Like people that are not from the region will never understand that we don't use USDC or the local market or the supermarket or like an
Mhm.
everyday life, right? Like, and you need to convert those, even if you're in crypto or not in crypto, like that USDC or that euros or whatever other major currency, we need to convert to Colombian peso, to Mexican peso, Argentinian, Peruvian sols, and all these. That struggle, it's very important to understand it, right? And not having that like 7% fees and days of waiting is massive. So
Oh, it's going to unlock the growth of the region for sure. Like it's going to completely turn, the, a region that's been basically had a lot of its value locked down. It's
yep.
going to completely open it because the moment a capital can move freely, fast, and cost efficiently, and with cost efficiency, mm, that's the moment that you combine that with the entrepreneurial spirit of Latinos, and
Yeah.
and you have yourself an absolute massive growth. And that's where I think blockchain is going to become one of the most financially liberating, and it's already started to do that, but it's going to be the most financially liberating technology for LATAM that we've seen in the last 100 years.
I completely agree, man. So excited for the regional to. I mean, they've been awake for years, but not having the tools, in my opinion, to really grow and succeed and become a developed country. But yeah, with Keychain, I'm sure that helps a lot. But yeah, like from like which where's your biggest user base from right now? I mean, Brazil, Mexico, Colombia, Argentina. I'm guessing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's your top
Yeah.
four, top five. Any
Yeah,
other
we
like
have
Peru
the
as well? I'm guessing.
Yeah, in LATAM, Peru's big. mm, Obviously, Brazil, Mexico, Argentina, Colombia. They're the big ones. We're seeing a lot of growth in the smaller countries. Bolivia is really
Nice.
making waves. Ecuador, Chile, right? They're starting to really grow. We're seeing great adoption rates there, but the big ones are still the main players. And in terms of adoption and legal regulation, El Salvador is obviously leading the charge, and that's where we're getting our licenses from. So we applied for two licenses. We already got one, and we're wrapping up the process to get the other one for our application for the blockchain bank. And that'll put us in the strongest position from a regulatory standpoint, which is what we want, because what we really want is to be able to go to the market with and give the most confidence, not just to the Web3 users, which understand the technology, but we want to be able to give the strength and confidence to Web3 users that might not understand the technology, but benefit from the use, right?
Yep.
And that is ultimately the number one thing for us, because we're always, we've always led the company, and my vision has always been steered by the users themselves, combined with what I see the market can most benefit from. And right now, obviously, after 4 years, it's the most exciting time, because we're really, really excited, especially with some of the soft launches that we've done and demos that we've done of the blockchain bank. The reception has been absolutely stellar. Um, the feedback we've gotten, the demand is extremely high. We have a lot of um, regional banks looking to partner with us. They want to work with us directly. Like I mentioned, we're getting a lot of traction from funds in New York and other areas of the United States. I really want to have a strong push with LATAM first, and then expand to other emerging markets, because we all emerging markets suffer from the same
Yep.
common denominator. So the pilot and what we've been able to do in Colombia, we're expanding throughout LATAM. So we're really excited about it. It's an incredible time to be in this space, and we're happy we're leading the charge in this area.
Man, so happy for you guys, and love what you're doing. And yeah, that was also one of the questions that I wanted to ask. If any banks have approached you regionally, because there's going to come a time very soon that they're not going to be able to compete with you guys with all the benefits that you guys are offering. So they should be positioning themselves with you instead of trying to compete with you. So I'm glad you mentioned it. If you can share a little bit more about that, TLDR, on how has that
Oh,
been the approach? Has it been friendly, or more like, okay, who the hell are you guys, and why are you joining the block all of a sudden? Like, how
oh,
has it been?
in the last 4 years, the last three were like that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
The
like
last
push and
like
pull, a lot of push and pull. Yeah,
two and a half were like, yeah, okay, maybe, But I would say the last year has been, since the Genius Act, we saw the tide turn immediately. And
hmm
what we're seeing now with the banks is that they're seeing blockchain, at least with these initial interactions that I've had. In the past, they were very acidic to blockchain, but what I've seen now is the opposite. I've seen them realize that it's a whole new opportunity for growth,
yeah, and
for new
inevitable.
products. Exactly.
Mhm.
And also that it's important for them, because I think in a lot of ways we're helping the banks, because the banks fell into this phase where they were kind of stuck in terms of technology and better products. And then now that we're being able to come in, we're being able to partner with a lot of banks that are coming to us, so that we can merge the best of both worlds, which is all the individuals that like the facets of traditional banking, they can still get those, right? But because they have interoperability with our bank on the blockchain side, you also have access to all the efficiencies and technological improvements that we have on the blockchain side. So what we're seeing is that a lot of users are coming, um, uh, that are, they're signing up early, and they want to work with us because they realize, hey, I can be part of the blockchain bank, but still interoperate, have interoperability with traditional banking. And then the banks themselves are realizing, hey, This is a new technology. It's not going anywhere. It's only going to be growing. If we work together, we can all benefit.
Yeah.
And that's been the approach I've seen recently, and I'm very happy about that because it's much better for the region and much better for the sector if we all work together to provide better products and services.
Yeah, no, completely agree. And at the end, it's benefiting the users as well. And I've seen a lot on your Twitter and your websites that you prioritize on growing together, building together. I saw bug bounty for feedback, and obviously testnet crushing numbers with 2 million wallets, 100,000 stakers on, yeah, 350,000 testnet users milestone. Like so much happening, so much movement. Do you want to talk a little bit about testnet and leading to mainnet as well for people listening and wanting to get involved?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we really set out to structure a strong testnet environment where you guys can really start testing the products, seeing what we have, being a part of the community, and especially because of all the new development that we've been able to create based off the feedback we've gotten through testnet, right? So as far as the stakers, I mean, we've gotten a tremendous amount of support from the region and from stakers in general that realize that they have an opportunity to really be at the base of the first blockchain bank in LATAM and one of the first blockchain banks in the world. And they realize that that's where the market's moving, and where we're really serving as is the conduit and the bridge between blockchain and the banks, right? And being able to enter that sector and being able to have a mm, a real fighter for the users in the space that that are really vested into blockchain really becoming mainstream and the benefit of blockchain really becoming mainstream, because ultimately
Mhm.
what we need is the use case, right? We need to get the actual real world benefit from this. So in testnet, I mean, I've been absolutely amazed by the team that we have in the community that we've been able to build. I think the grassroots approach that we took has paid off completely, because our community and the new members that are coming on know that we're building real world value, and we're building technology that's really going to impact individuals' lives in the real world, not secondary niche products, but things that really create impact. And in emerging markets, this impact is more significant than possibly anything else other than food,
Yeah.
right? Because you interact with the banks and you deal with their limitations on a daily basis. So being able to unlock that value, unlock those limitations, and have a seamless banking experience through blockchain and through keychain allows us to really create um, a fertile ground for growth rather than stagnation, which is what's really plagued LATAM over the years. So we're really excited to really see that grow, because ultimately, if you look at it, and I mentioned it before, the entrepreneurial spirit of emerging markets is incredible, right? It's incredible. Whether you're in Nigeria, whether you're in different parts of the Middle East or Asia, or and especially in LATAM, there's a culture of entrepreneurship, of berraquera, like we say here, right?
Yeah. Just
There's
working
a
your
real
ass off.
exactly. There's a
Yeah,
real
yeah, yeah.
desire to just work your ass off and build and create things. And I think our community, and what I really feel is our community has seen that we're completely committed to really building this thing out. That's why we have such long holding periods, and and our tokenomics is structured all incentivized towards long term growth, right? Especially the same with the tokens for our founders and everything. We're in this thing for the long haul, and part of why we built it that way is because we wanted our users to really benefit and really create value in the real world, where they're seeing either savings or earnings go up, right? That's what we want. And we want, and also, you know a lot of these places are so incredible that they're only missing a great financial structure, right? Because we love where we live. I'm sure you love Mexico.
And
I love Colombia. Colombia is great. The food, the culture, the environment, and throughout LATAM and other emerging markets, the same thing. Now, when you layer on a financial structure and a financial system that can completely support that, the quickest speeds, and really allows the region to grow, then you get these emerging markets to become developed nations, which is ultimately the goal.
Oh man, you said so many things that I wanted to comment on that question. So, but yeah, I think the main one was that the Berraquera, like, yeah, we understand that side a lot from Latin America and other countries as well in the world. But that if you want a better quality of life, you work for it. You don't just settle or like find a better job. I mean, you can find a better job, but like that entrepreneurship spirit of like you go on your own, you build a team, like that sense is very Latin American, I think. And as well, like it's such a huge opportunity for outside investors on Latin America, a majority besides Brazil and a couple of others speaking Spanish, right? Like if people want to invest in Asia, everyone has a different culture, a different language, and it's a little bit different. It's obviously a big market as well, but this region is very special. You can talk about football and connect with pretty much everyone. And
Absolutely.
the World Cup coming up as well. Like, yeah, it's special. Um, but yeah, it's that use case, that value, that growth, growing together as well. Earnings or savings going up, as you just said. That tokenomics I saw on the video that you did of like of the questions back and forth. That a lot of your investing for most founders is like 1 year or 4 years, right? With that long term vision and building with the right foundation. Do you want to share more about?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. The biggest thing that coming from traditional finances, I wanted the community and I wanted the market to understand that me and my co-founder and I are completely committed to the long-term growth and really seeing this thing through. So if you see other tokenomic structures, a lot of times there's a lot of unlock at TGE,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of selling and potential for dumping. We wanted to take that completely off the table. So when you look at us, you're talking about, you know, overall, my coins will be completely freed up over the course of 4 years, right? Versus when you see people's founders that they get their coins released within 6 months or 18
Or
months.
immediately. Yeah.
Yeah, or
Some,
or
yeah.
yeah, exactly. We want nothing to do with that, mainly because we really enjoy what we're doing. We have a tremendous passion for it, because it's very few times in your life that you have the opportunity to build something that means so much, can create such a big impact, and
That's
that
good. That's good.
can really grow an entire region. Which and that goes back to the vision of the company. The vision of the company is to create a seismic growth in the middle class in Latin America and other emerging markets. That's the vision, because what we realize is that when you get rid of those market inefficiencies that exist today through the banking system, that value goes directly to the individual user, and that user can, and that in turn stimulates the economy and ultimately creates a wider, stronger middle class, which is ultimately what creates prosperity in these regions, right? That's why the US is so strong, because it has a thriving middle class. And taking that structure, we've applied it to division, because we're big believers that where you place the incentive is where the outcomes occur, right? And so what we did and we did from the beginning, is that we had all of our, holders, partners, allies, and our big investors. We all got aligned to really go at this with a long-term mindset and with a growth perspective, right? So this wasn't going to be some sort of like high return through financial engineering
Mhm.
the project, right? This was going to be a project that was going to create massive value and massive growth, and we were all going to be very profitable through that growth and
Yeah.
through looking at this through a long-term period. And fortunately, we have tremendous investors, we have tremendous partners, we have tremendous holders that believed in our vision and backed us, and led by the founders themselves being able to be willing to hold off for 4 years before really even tapping into their reserves. in terms of the token side, because we're not really motivated by that. What we realize is like, is if we really build um, this incredible infrastructure and this incredible product that we saw that we could build together, if we build that, the returns and the capital and the financial prosperity will be there, right?
Yeah.
The most important thing is to really create value, and that's something I learned in traditional finance, and I really applied it here. And fortunately, whether it's Nimbus, whether it's LATAM Nodes, whether it's Kahuna Ventures, whether it's all the funds that we've worked with, um, everybody's really jumped in and bought into what we're doing, and and that's allowed us to all push in the same direction. And that's why 4 years down the road, and now that we're going to TGE, it marks a great milestone, but it's only the beginning, right? And that's what I'm most excited about, because everybody that we work with, the entire outlook for them is based off of, it's amazing what we built, and we're launching, but as soon as we launch, that's when the game starts,
Yeah.
right? And that's where we're at with all of that, and so it's amazing to go through that. And I'm extremely excited about being able to have everybody lined up and incentivized and really having bought into the vision, because I see a lot of projects that when they launch, it's actually the worst time for them, because they have a lot of,
Or the end, or the ending for
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. It's the beginning of the end, because they have
Yeah.
horrible unlocks, and they don't have the investors aligned, and the vision is one way, and the holders' incentives are another. The happiest thing for me is that this launch and what we're doing as we get to TGE is exactly what we wanted it to be. We wanted it to be a major milestone, and we wanted it to be an incredibly be positive period that really showed um, a lot of effort, a lot of work, and really produced a result for our community. But at the same time, for it to be the beginning of what we're going to be building, and especially with a tremendous partner like Nimbus Capital. I mean, I have to give them so much credit, because they not only believed in our vision, but they told us since day one, they said, hey, we're in this to really create value, right? So you tell us how we can be the best partners to do so, and let's really grow this. Let's really grow this technology, and let's grow the region. And that for an entrepreneur, and for a CEO, and for a founder, is the type of partners that you really want. And that's not easy to find in emerging markets, as you know. What I mean? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's not easy to find visionaries
Yeah,
like
man.
that. So shout out to Robert Baker. He's the managing director at Nimbus.
Yeah, no,
He's a
100%.
great partner. The whole team over there with Nimbus and Inon, those guys are incredible. And I feel very fortunate we've been able to partner with those people, along with other partnerships that we've done, and that have all bought into, let's really build this sector, and let's really build what we're putting together with the blockchain and with the blockchain bank. So it's been great, man. Nothing like amazing partners and an amazing community to really get you up in the morning.
Man, I can't remember when was the last time that I got goosebumps. Like there's a lot of passionate founders out there. Obviously, most love what they do, but I don't know. Like it's a different feeling when you truly believe in making a change and a long-term vision, not thinking just about tomorrow, but years ahead, and finding that partnership, that partner, and that bond and alignment with enjoying what you do, and like that you're making a difference. When you were talking just now, and well, throughout the whole show, like. Uh, and I'm sure you have it as well. Like it's more about helping. I mean, people in general, but like with this, you can help your grandparents, your neighbors, your friends, or like people that you have grew up with, like that are having struggles of a failed system, right? Like these could really change their lives for the better. So I love that side of it. Not only for the
Oh,
region,
absolutely.
but in general for everything you're building. So kudos, kudos,
Yeah.
love it.
No, what you just said is pivotal. What's amazing about this is that it impacts from the individual on a personal level to all the way to the masses at a macro level,
Yeah,
right?
I think Oh, I don't know if you're cutting off or I am. Daniel, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
you're back.
good.
Okay. Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, it's realistically um, that kind of impact is what is amazing because, like I mentioned before, it's so rare in your life that you have the opportunity to do something that really creates a significant amount of impact, right? A
Yeah.
lot of times you'll settle just to create impact in your own life or with your friends and family, or even in a niche market. But something that is so wide and encompassing, it's extremely exciting. It's extremely motivating, right? Especially when you talk to the users, because now that we're approaching um, the opportunity to launch the final version of the blockchain bank and really go public with it. As we've done the soft launches, like I was mentioning, and we're talking to different business owners and entrepreneurs in the region about the products and services and doing some soft testing, their reaction and the look in their eyes is so exciting
Man, can
and
imagine.
motivating because it really lets you know, hey, you're on the right track and what you built really is what you wanted it to be, right?
Yeah.
We had a fund in New York tell us we have never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
Count us in. Let's just figure out how we're going to work together.
Take
And
my
that to
money.
me,
Yeah. Literally get me. I don't know how, but like put me in.
well, let me tell you something. After years of holding the line on the tokenomics, because people wanted crazy unlocks and things like
Yeah.
that, and us refusing to do it. Now getting to the point where they're really bought into the but really bought into the whole
Long term vision
vision,
and yeah.
exactly the vision and everything that we're doing. You know, it just changes everything. It changes everything because it really like I said, the last 4 years have been an incredible journey. But the game is actually starting at TGE,
Yeah.
and now to see these bigger players say, hey, the work that you guys did, the fixing of different issues, the trial, the testing and trials that you guys went through really paid off because what you guys have is incredible. It's extremely rewarding and extremely exciting because now we're very we're a short time away from being able to really, one, launch the coin, obviously, and then after that, being able to launch the bank, right?
Yeah.
And that's when the game really gets interesting, and we were able to bring everybody in. And the other thing that's really exciting is that the evergreen model that we created around the blockchain. So 5% of all revenue generated from the bank and from the ecosystem goes into buybacks of key. So it's gonna be continuously cycling through so that we have an evergreen model that we can able to that we're going to be able to completely optimize, right, and create a self-sustaining structure that creates long-term, long-lasting growth, which is ultimately what we all want.
No, 100%. And with this tweet that you were quote retweeting the race, you wrote excited for mainnet. I think that's an understatement about it, but you clearly are. Are you looking more into Q2, Q3, Q4? Like, what are the estimated dates if you cannot give an exact one? I'm sure a lot of people are excited as well. So many people on testnet doing the daily tasks, testing everything about it. But like, do you have a date already or an idea of which
Well,
quarter at
right.
least?
Yeah, right now we're finalizing negotiations with the last exchanges that we have.
Mhm.
We have most of them on board. We're just finalizing the last negotiations, things like perps and other basically locking in perps and things like that. So we're basically in the 25th hour with the exchanges. So we're gonna have a date relatively soon. All right. We are ready to launch from a technological standpoint, marketing standpoint, and from a business standpoint. So right now, what we're really looking for is we just want to make sure that we can come to the best terms possible, and we can really convey to the exchanges the vision of what we're building, so that they understand, how we can best work together. So I'm expecting us to have be launched by Q2, Q3 at the latest. Um,
Nice.
but it's all right now. We're you
Mhm.
know everything I'm telling you right now could change in the next couple of days because all the information is coming. We're actively locking in all these negotiations, and it's gone extremely well. Fortunately, we're getting a lot of support, and
Nice.
that's another thing that I'm really happy about is seeing how the exchanges are really backing strong, sustainable projects with real revenue and real world use. Right, the support we've gotten from the exchanges and the top tiers has been phenomenal. Um, so we expect it to be coming very soon. I've been very careful to not give a date, just because just because you know how it is.
Yeah.
I want I want
They'll hold you to
I
it. Yeah.
yeah, and also because we're so excited and we've worked so hard for everything that we have so far that releasing the date is one of the milestones for us. So we're being very close to the vest until we have everything tightened up just like we want it. And then once we have the terms and conditions and everything that we're looking for, we're going to release the date. But it should be, but what I can say, it's extremely soon because everything's extremely active right now. And I would say we're at like 95% of where
Jeez.
we want to be. Yeah. So it's getting there. It's getting there. We're very happy.
Love to hear it. For people that are involved already on the test net, for the ones that are not yet, what should they be doing to get involved? People from outside of LATAM, could they, like all these details, TLDR
Oh,
maybe?
absolutely, absolutely. We invite everybody to jump on testnet. We're going to be we have an incredible system on how the rewards happen. So what happens is the more users we get, the more rewards we open up, right? And the reason we did that is because we want to incentivize individual growth and community growth at the same time. So anything that for all of you listening, as you guys can see there, we've checked off already a good amount of of the levels, and that's just coming in more and more. So if you're not in testnet, please join us. We'd love to hear from you guys. Please join our Discord as well. We're approaching 200,000 um, followers on Discord as well,
That's
and
insane.
and yeah, and we love hearing from the community. We love you guys using the products, getting the feedback from you guys. Anything that you guys see that we can improve on, we're doing it. We actually did another audit of the blockchain because we just wanted to double check it. We did it with Hacking. We'll be releasing that soon. That went extremely well, fortunately. And we're as far as like, all the activities, please jump in, really dive into all the activities, get as much auto as you can. Um, definitely use all of the programs and
There's a
activities there.
bunch of daily tasks. Yeah, this one, right?
Yeah, all the daily tasks, really jump into it. Feel free to share your thoughts on it. The biggest thing I always tell everybody is I love hearing from the community because it shapes the way that we build these products. Because the biggest thing for me personally is I want our users to always feel like what they most want out of the technology, we're providing for them. Right. And if we're not, we're working on it so that we can provide it. And I think well, actually, to be honest with you, I know everybody's going to be extremely excited in the next
Mhm.
couple of months when we, after TGE, when we um, unveil the blockchain bank. It's guys, the stuff that we have put together for you guys. It has never been done before. Whether it's the yield, it's the programs, and the biggest reason why, just so you guys know, is because fortunately we've been able to develop such a big community. It's given us leverage to be able to negotiate with different service providers.
Yep.
So what we've done is we baked in a lot of our costs and our returns into the existing price structures so that we can offer you guys the best rates while still making healthy returns so that we can continue growing the ecosystem and the products and services that we want to give you guys. So definitely join us and definitely, I'd love to hear from you guys. And, we can consider ourselves a community where your voice will be heard and great ideas will be taken into account. Right. So, you know, 100%, we'd love to hear from you, and we'd love you guys to join what I expect to be a complete financial revolution in LATAM.
So excited, man. So excited.
Yeah, yeah, I'm pumped. I'm pumped, brother. I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped.
Yeah, no, I love it. And yeah, and such so many opportunities and services that you offer as well with KeyX. Besides the up ramping, you have the credit cards, the debit cards, the staking, the yield, the credits. What else? The US dollar bank based accounts, like so much
Yeah,
that people can just take advantage of, right? And then the blockchain bank, mainnet, DG. It's crazy.
yeah, yeah, and we're going to be unveiling the version one, and then we're going to have a huge um, front end upgrade, right? The reason we do like to put out the product raw initially is because we do like the interaction with the community, and we want them to give us the feedback on how they feel it's the best user interface possible, because the most important thing is the actual use and the tech behind it. And then once that's solid, we'd love to get the feedback on how we can make it the most ease of use, the most smooth, the best looking. And we've been able to bring in an incredible team for that. So the first versions you guys are going to see are going to be very direct to the vein. They're going to be extremely useful and clean. But after that, we're going to be able to make it extremely aesthetically appealing, and we're going to optimize for the user interaction as much as possible. And obviously, we're taking on all your feedback in those areas and applying them directly. And the best ideas get bonus rewards in auto as well. So we love to incentivize the community because they've come up with some incredible ideas, and I'm very happy that that feedback has led us to where we are today.
Nice. Yeah, for the Oro and key conversion, you can find the testnet website and on their website. We're just playing it just now. But for people wondering about that, you can check it there. Are most people speaking in Spanish in your Discord, or is it English? And I'm sure you
Oh,
have a few Spanish
English.
languages. Okay, really?
No, yeah, no, we have English, we have Spanish, we have a few other languages as well. We've opened up quite a bit. We like, we're very focused on emerging markets. We want to be able to provide this in the best ways to all of these, because at the end of the day, all emerging markets, we're all in this together. We're all dealing with the same issues and the same challenges that we just need to overcome. And but obviously, being from the region, we're starting with LATAM first, and then and then once we perfect that system, we're gonna be able to just blast it out to all the other areas, whether it's Asia, Africa, the Middle East, etc.
Yeah, man, that expansion is gonna be super exciting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're on. I mean, we could talk about this for hours, really.
Oh my God, you're telling me.
Yeah. Um, Anything you want to share, like that you think we missed, or that you want to highlight on? And then I have one last question, and then we can start closing up.
um,
Do you think we covered everything? I think we did, but there's so much about you guys. So,
yeah, there's so much
yeah,
to talk about. No, I mean honestly, just I think we've covered a good amount. Nothing comes to mind right now.
awesome. Last question then. What's your best advice for builders in the world, not only LATAM, but like with big visions or big ambitious goals? We've all been there in one way or another. What would you advise or suggest people in general?
I would say find believers around you that want to chase down the same dream. That's the number one thing, because that's where it all starts, right? It all starts with believers. That's one of the things that I've been very fortunate to have. My co-founder Alex, um, throughout the entire journey that we've been on, having each other has made the difference significantly, because we've been able to really push forward the vision in the most difficult of times, when when others would have fallen off. We didn't, because we had that unity, and we believed in what we were doing, and we believed in each other. So for the developers out there, find the believers, find the people that will be crazy enough to follow you into the fire. You know what I
Let's
mean?
go.
Yeah, it's 100%. Find that. Everything else will come from that, right? We've had a lot of support, and a lot of that has come because they've seen the psychotic work ethic and the
Yeah.
unity that we have. So that's my best advice for builders. Find the people that are crazy enough to roll with you, and go into battle, and be thrilled that you're in the fight. because ultimately that's what life's about, right? Taking on these challenges, leaving, comfort zones, and ideally making it, right? And the risk of not is what makes it exciting, but whenever we're facing different challenges, I always just thank God, because I'm living the dream. This is exactly what I wanted, right? So enjoy it and live it up.
Man, love it. So fucking good. Couldn't have said it better. And yeah, like completely agree with that vision, that purpose, and that finding the right people to go into the fire with, and everything else aligns. Like you're excited to go to work, you're excited to be making a difference, to be helping people, changing lives. Everything just follows, and that it's really clear, and you can hear it that for you guys, money is eventually will happen after the value. So it's secondary. It's not the first thing or prioritized as many other um, projects or companies. So yeah, no, so much respect and admiration for what you guys and what you're building. So excited for TGE, for mainnet. Yeah, so excited, man. So excited. Anything else that you want to add, Daniel? All
Well,
good
I
from
just
your
want to I want to thank you for this, because this has been one of the best spaces interviews I've done, and I
Really
love
appreciate it.
and I love the Colombian Mexican connection, because
Yeah,
there's
of course,
a lot of similarities,
of
and
course,
no, hope we can do it again, and
always,
and looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it.
always
We're gonna be in
invited,
this
man.
space for a while, man. So like, you know,
Yeah, no, of
I
course, we'll be
love it.
around.
Yeah, let's make this thing as big as possible. You know, what I mean? I always like. There was a saying that I always took to heart. It said, "How big would you dream if you knew you couldn't fail?"
Yeah, I love that
Right?
quote. Yeah, so
Yeah,
good.
and that's I'm taking that to heart with what we're doing now, especially now that we've surpassed a lot of the risk, and we're moving more into the growth phase. So I'm excited to see how big we can dream with this.
Yeah, man, fear is an illusion. Just go for it. People should take more risks and just see what happens. Failure is just part of the experience, and then you get closer to success,
You
right?
you win or you learn.
Exactly. You learn. Big shout out to everyone that was here with us in the comments on X, on Kick, on Abstract, YouTube, and Twitch. Cryptopedia, Honeybee, Tulip, Jesse, Dabco, of course, Holger, the keychain team that are always very active and very present. Really appreciate you guys all the time. Takagi as well. Thank you as well. Too many names. I cannot name you all, but you know who you are. Thank you again. It's been an incredible show. Daniel, pleasure. We'll definitely run it back. And best of luck with all your milestones ahead, TG, mainnet, and everything else, blockchain bank.
Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Have a good one. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Take care.